快点！小俊，急生啊！後邊啊！
Hello there, this is Stormdog, and today I'd like to talk about Postman Strikes Back. In some markets, it is released as The Postman Fights Back from 1982. One thing I want to note on many releases, Chow Yun Fat is almost the entirety of the cover art, and his name is often plastered at the top. It's not really a Chow Yun Fat movie, despite him having a large role in it, and a very good role. The postman of the title is not Chow Yun Fat, but rather Brian Leong, as he's known in English markets, but as Ka Young Leong on IMDb and Ka Young Leong in China. Either pick one or call him Brian Leong Ka Yan, as some publications do. Either way, he's really good at his job. Not even a paragraph into the script, and I'm already distracted by the cast. I'll try to find a way to keep this video on the rails. The plot is as follows. 4 heroes embark on a secret mission for Dr. Sun Yat-sen's Nationalist Guard, relentlessly pursued by the warriors of notorious warlord Yo Sai-ho. They have 7 days to reach the Loyang Pass with their secret cargo. I was not able to watch this with the best subtitles, so the detail about Dr. Sun Yat-sen was not mentioned, nor, to my knowledge, did he show up. I was actually hoping to see that historical character show up on screen. I really love this period of Chinese history. The main character is a postman carrying letters for various small towns who all try to pay him what they can. It's like that Kevin Costner movie, but with action that isn't disappointing. The towns can't really afford to pay him, and he's convinced to take on this mission along with these other characters. They meet some girls along the way, and there's a lot of twists and turns. It's good stuff as you're guessing what some of the real motives of various characters are, and what the secret cargo really is. The finale seems to be inspired by spaghetti westerns, and I'll try not to spoil it anymore. Did I mention there's ninjas? Not just cheap ninjas, but solid B-tier movie goodness ninjas, with awesome tricks and gadgets that really find inventive ways to kill people. Modern viewers will be prone to compare it to Naruto, but there are some of you who will be reminded of the old Shaw Brothers 5-element ninjas, and other similar productions of yesteryear. That leads me to my next point. The scenery is beautiful in many places, and that will draw your attention more in the first half. The first 30 to 40 minutes are slow, and feel more like the pace of a Shaw Brothers movie. Granted, a lot of the cast prominently featured in standout Shaw Brothers movies. It's good stuff in here, you just need to slow down and let it breathe. When it gets really going, it will blow you away with how inventive it gets. Side note, this is a classic Hong Kong film. It has zero chill, and no one is safe. Once the action accelerates, there is dynamite, ninja weapons, deadly scarves, hidden sleeve dart guns, ice skating ninjas, piggyback kung fu, and so much more. A lot of people die. This is at least 7 samurai levels as far as proportionately how much of the cast will die despite being the heroes. Chow Yun Fat is so well known for gun fu type movies, but it turns out his guan fu is awesome stuff as well. This film was made before he was big time, and he looks really young here. Later releases of the film made sure to display him as the main star, despite that not being really true. This is common practice to this day in releasing films, and a trick to make a buck. Even in lesser-known films of his like 1941, he still has at least one excellent fight scene. He has some of the coolest gimmicks of the heroes, with what must be a weighted scarf, and some kind of mechanism hidden up his sleeve that fires big old darts. If you're a subscriber to the channel, I doubt I need to recommend any Chow Yun Fat films to you. The main character, our postman, is played by Ka Young Leong. As I mentioned earlier, he is still working in the industry to this day. Some of my recommendations of his work are as follows: Saving General Yang, an excellent Chinese war film of ancient China with really good battles; True Legend, which I hope to do a video on. It's basically Jet Li's Fearless on cocaine. He was in the excellent Yun Bao movie Dreadnought, which has another cinematic representation of famous Chinese hero Wang Fei Hung, played this time by Quan Ta-king, who played the character throughout his film career almost 90 times. Mo Guilan, the wife of Wang Fei Hung, who lived from 1847 to 1924, got to see Ta-king play the character early in his career and was noted to have said, "You look just like my late husband." Wang Fei Hung is one of the greatest characters of modern Chinese history. Do yourself a favor and at least watch through the Once Upon a Time in China series about that character. Granted, a lot of the film plots about Wang Fei Hung are made up, but it's like the equivalent of the legend of Robin Hood. Back to Kar Young-leung, our main character actor. He did a lot of work with Sammo Hung, including The Victim, Odd Couple, and Knockabout. Knockabout and Dreadnought were both done with Yun Bao, but are, as far as the plot, unrelated. There's a lot more he did with Sammo Hung, and a lot of classics he did with the Shaw Brothers production company, but we need to keep moving. Despite being one of the most well-known faces in Hong Kong action cinema, he had no formal martial arts training, relying on his talents at mimicry to imitate the moves shown to him by the action directors. Cherry Chung played one of the girls, and I recognize her from films she did with Chow Yun Fat, like Autumn's Tale, a really good dramatic non-action turn of his, Once a Thief with director John Woo, and Wild Search with director Ringo Lam. You can usually expect things to get crazy with Ringo Lam at the helm, and he even briefly did American action films, but that's a topic for another day. We have other really great players here like Eddie Ko or Hung Ko from projects like The Mission, one of my favorite Johnny To action movies, the incredibly good Peacock King with Yuen Bao, and easily about 15 other entertaining movies. We also have Fan Mei Xing, who is in Magnificent Butcher and pops up in a lot of great Hong Kong movies. There were other players in here that I recognize, but don't have all the information at my fingertips for. The director here is the famed Ronnie Yu. He did one of my favorite Kung Fu history films, Jet Li's Fearless. He did the Saving General Yang I mentioned earlier as well. He did a handful of American films around the turn of the century, but nothing I'm too interested in. He did Legacy of Rage with Brandon Lee, which I did find to be memorable. Like I said, the action is very good and very inventive. The last 3 to 4 action set pieces are really good edge-of-your-seat stuff. I didn't realize there were evil ninjas in here, and it blew my expectations out of the water. I've always heard this one kind of disparaged for being a lesser entry in Chow Yun Fat's catalog, but it stands out incredibly well on its own. I could not find this streaming anywhere, except it does seem to be on iQIWI if you have the VIP account, not the free account. I swear that site tempts me at least weekly with its wares. If you like kung fu movies or cowboy western tinged Asian action movies, you'll really enjoy this one. Not to say everyone is carrying guns, in fact there's very few in the movie, but you'll recognize some of the themes. Until next time, this has been Stormdome.
馬大哥啊，有冇嘢帶俾我哋啊？
有，點會冇啫？嗱，好好食㗎，你睇下，係廣州帶翻嚟嘅朱古力啊！
咦，好似劈泥咁嘅，我哋唔食啊，走啦！你都呃人嘅，鬼信你啊！